In this video, I'm showing you all the interview that I did with the designers of the Tudor Corner, the next modular building. Here's what they had to say about it.
My name is Ashwin. I'm a graphic designer in the entire adults portfolio, so I work on a lot of sets. But yeah, it's always fun to work on the modular series because I'm a huge modular fan myself. So yeah, it's always cool to work on them, and I did the graphics in this case for this modular.
And I am François Zapf. I'm a model designer in the Icons team.
We have a new corner building.
That's right.
So let's hear about it.
It's called Tudor Corner, and it was inspired by British architecture,
Okay.
obviously. It has some specific Tudor architecture details, like the roof, have timber walls, the jetted floor. It feels really British. And on the ground floor, you have an inn, a restaurant, and a shop next to it, a haberdashery. On the first floor, you have a clockmaker workshop, and on the top floor, you have a bedsit, a little studio. So the idea behind this concept, after the museum that was massive, big, and really institutional, it was to have a cozy corner or something that feels warm, and that's why we went with this idea of a British corner, a Tudor corner, and having a restaurant and some old-timey vibes attached to it, representing by the clockmaker, or the ground floor, the coat of arms, suggesting that this is a really old building from Bricktown. The name Guarded Inn is referencing an old Lego set. So it was funny just to suggest that it's the same location but centuries later. So
Yeah, so in the modular series we always have printed elements. So we have I think 6 new prints for this one. If we start on this side, we have indeed the clock.
Yep.
So it's almost the signature clock for the clockmaker, first time printed on a 3x3 round. Very intricate details. It's printed on the molded gold color, and with the inks, there are some reflective inks to represent this very chic, authentic clock. If we go downwards towards, we have the old Guarded Inn nameplates. Also reflective gold ink on the black tile to give this old-timey look, but also this typography that you sometimes see on these very old British establishments.
I see the goats.
Yes, and the goats is also like a tiny reference to a lot of goats we had last year.
Yeah.
We have the menu. So there is the main menu on the top, a special menu that changes maybe daily or weekly. This time it's fish on the menu. If we continue to this side, so then we have also the name plate for the shop with the haberdashery name in it. And if you look closely, the lines actually indicate a top hat. So yeah, that's also just to give this very classy look to this shop. More prints are on the inside. Yeah, the minifigures represent, of course, the different owners and inhabitants of Bricktown. So the shop owner, there's a person walking by, the lady who's living upstairs, and she is an animal lover, and she has multiple cats and some insects in geraniums. We have the chef next to it, and then the shop owner, the inn owner, I think she's sitting down.
Yeah.
And then the clockmaker on the far side.
Are any of these prints, it feels like some of these are new, because I don't recognize them, but...
The figures, the prints are not new to this set, but they might be new for other sets, but we have reused them for this one. So there are no exclusive minifigure parts for this time. I can always forget this guy.
Oh,
he's upstairs, the chimney sweeper who was doing some work for the chimneys. Cool. There is actually a hidden other minifigure, but that's used as a mannequin in the inside of the shop.
So here on the ground floor, you have this space dedicated to the restaurant. A really nice counter with a lot of bottles, glasses, and mugs, and a dish with bacon, egg, and toast.
Yeah.
Here on the back, you have the kitchen. So a nice little thing that you can remove that little chunk of wall, so you can access this kitchen more easily. Here you have the haberdashery, a lot of threads, hats, and sewing articles. Supplies, yes, thanks. And umbrellas.
You're talking about the mannequin as well?
There's the mannequin. Here on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Is it accessible at all?
the mandatory toilets.
Yes, okay.
And yeah, for an easy access, you can remove that chunk of stairs. Access the sausage.
Yes.
Hidden inside.
Of course.
There is already a reference towards the clockmaker over there. So
Mhm.
the tiny little clock.
A fun thing here, on the menu you have a fish.
Yeah.
Because at first, we thought it could be a fish and chips restaurant.
Okay.
But then we move away from this idea because we really like the dark green color, and fish and chips are usually blue. We get the fish on the menu, but there's still a little reference to this here in the trash. It's something, yeah, a rotten fish, and that's a fresh fish.
Yeah,
That's
which
why-
yeah, indeed the cats like it from
Oh, yeah,
from the lady upstairs.
Yeah, so the cat is really enjoying this. So here on the first floor, you access through the staircase outside. You enter the clockmaker workshop. This space with a lot of clocks, grandfather clocks, smaller clocks, alarm clocks. His workspace where he's fixing an alarm clock. Here you have a little closet where you can store the vacuum cleaner.
Old style. All pre-existing prints. I see lots of them, but all pre-existing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah,
It's the novelty one.
Yeah. Except you went for the outside.
yeah. There was enough in the portfolio that we could vary a lot of different clocks actually.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think it's also really helpful for people who wants to build mocks and everything, and like they will have a lot of clocks to put into their builds. I think it's kind of funny to have this.
Yeah. I've actually noticed, and this is more of a graphic design question, I've noticed that there's been, it feels like a couple of updates to some prints, like maybe the letter or a clock, where there used to be an older version that's been kind of substituted for another similar version. Were there like any guideline regarding that? Because I remember like being building something where they mention like a printed tile on the building instructions, but the one that came
Yeah.
in the model was a different and updated one.
yeah, so there were a few graphics, I think maybe 15 to 20 in the entire portfolio
Yeah.
that had a refresh.
Okay, yeah.
That are now always available throughout the portfolio.
Okay.
And it could be that we have updated graphically, but that the building instructions
Were still
the older ones.
The older ones, yeah.
I think it's like this running change that happened. Yeah, and I think that's where the mismatch is happening between the building instructions. Yeah, we always try to keep it as close as possible to the original, but yeah, there are some few graphics that have been updated. So the clock was one of them. I
Yeah.
remember some computer graphics that were updated,
Yeah.
or maybe some phones here and there. So
Yeah.
it should be all updated now with the
Yeah.
since
Yeah,
last
by now.
or
Yeah,
2
yeah.
years even. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the last
one.
floor.
That floor, the studio apartment, that's it. With the cat lady living there. Obviously, she loves cats. And there are 2 terrariums with insects, an insect
Oh,
collection. Actually, you have a new cat. It's a recolored one
Yeah.
in Darkton.
Is this the new print inside that you were talking about, Ashwin?
No, it's actually this tile over here on the wall.
Yeah, the organizer.
Yeah, it's a new vibe in a way, like we haven't seen before with the building itself.
It's really different from the previous one, obviously, because
Yeah, yeah.
something that hasn't been made celebrating British architecture. It's really Tudor style, so it's really reminiscent of medieval builds and everything, but still it has a more modern look to it, but yeah, still brick down, so it's
Yeah.
tied to the 50s, 60s. It is a bit intimidating when you have to design a modular because the expectations are super high.
Yeah.
It went pretty well because working as a team, and we had a lot of support from everyone. Jamie, Andy, Chris,
What drives me about Lego sets is usually the building experience. I always love to find like new building techniques and smart building techniques. So is there something in here that you're like really proud of that I should be looking out for?
The roof.
The roof. Yeah,
The
roofs
roof.
are always challenging, right?
Yeah, it was the first thing I designed when starting that model, because probably noticed the angles are a bit tricky, and it was a challenge because it's such a weird shape. A steep roof like this, this
Yeah.
is something that is really tied to the Tudor architecture style, and having the right angles and avoiding any collision, plus you mentioned the building experience.
Yeah.
So when you attach because you build it like this, you basically build some chunks of the different chunks, and then you press like this. It was a challenge not to for the structure to hold the roof, to hold it when you're putting it on. So yeah, that was super fun. That was challenging, but super fun. And also the half timber wall.
Yeah.
There's a nice new technique here.
Yeah, I see it. Using those new longer cheese slopes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did the model coaches give you a really hard time with this one?
Not really on that one.
Really?
Surprisingly,
Okay.
they said, yeah, okay.
They
it's
were
totally
more
fine.
worried about the roofs,
Yeah,
probably.
the roof
Yeah.
was more challenging.
Yeah. And this angle down here, I see it. Seems interesting as well.
It was, yeah, it was also fine. It's super interesting. This angle is reminiscent of the boutique hotel, so it's a little nod to that model.
Mhm.
But you were talking about build flow and
Yeah.
building experience, and that one, it's super fun because usually when you're building modulars, you just build some furniture, some things like that, and then you go with
Yeah.
long steps of putting bricks on. And that one, there are a lot of sub builds. So you're building chunks of wall, and then you connect them. Like you build this separately, and then you connect it. So it's not boring at all. It's super fun. It's also a different building experience.
As a team, we had our inputs. I think the middle floor at one point was changed with the split of the colors, and then we talked about it. Okay, how can we do it with changing the colors and all of that thing? So yeah, there was just a lot of generic input from the team. I really like the color use because it's a lot, but everything actually comes together quite well.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It's giving these interesting vibe actually of that entire building.
When you look at the models, oh yeah, this is a really old building, even though it's plastic. But it gives that feeling, and that color is also a new color. The bricks are recolored. It's in nougat, so that's a novelty. Pretty cool one.
No new elements in this particular one, just recolors.
Recolors and decors, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of new decors and some interesting recolored elements like that one, in black.
the
You can
bricks.
see here as well.
Oh yeah, the botanical.
And,
thingy.
and of course, my favorite one, droid legs in gold.
Oh, nice. Pearl gold. Cool.
A lot
Easy
of
to miss.
Yeah.
skeleton arms and
Almost,
droid legs.
you can almost make gold battle droids now.
Yeah.
I think there were some new plant elements as well, like this.
That's also
flower head,
pretty
I
new.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this one.
Well, if he says so, he really is.
Yeah.
He seems like the biggest fan from what I can gather.
Because I know this is a different approach. This is something that is a bold aesthetic choice to have the British architecture like this. It's different, so
Yeah.
it's a novelty. I think no one expected at Tudor Corner, and that's cool. But it's also super fun. To have something different, just Parisian streets, architecture style, Haussmannian style, or American facades. So this is different. That building is pretty classic compared to the other modules.
Yeah.
So it fits pretty well if you connect it that way. But here, this little alley with the stairs,
yeah.
it was specifically made for the museum.
Okay.
So it's super cool when once you connect another building to have a little gap, so
Yeah.
buildings can breathe
Yeah.
a little bit. And with the museums, it's super massive, and those kind of buildings usually don't come with houses attached to yeah, you don't see that in the wild. So having this little gap helps a lot with the museum.
For sure, it makes the street more interesting, like having the gaps and different heights and stuff. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of Market Street somehow. You know, the baby blue and white. Yeah.
It's getting more and more difficult to find some unused color for the modular.
Yeah,
light.
new color combos
Yeah.
for sure. I can bet. And those hats over there are on the side for any particular reason.
That's the.
Oh, that's the wall. Okay,
That's the
okay,
wall.
okay.
So there's a new recolor here with the gray hats.
Yeah.
That's a novelty for that specific model. That's why I'm wearing mine.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Because I was a bit prouder of it. It was suggested by Chris, so he
Yeah,
can make his mini figure.
Oh, you're taking over.
Flat cap expert.
It's my Chris McVeigh cosplay. So
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
yeah, but it's still fun to have this gap in gray because it came. This is fairly new because it was a recolor for the reef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Christmas reef.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. I love it. I'm kind of curious to see what people think about it because it really is unexpected. Like when I saw this top part of here, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I like it, but I also want to see what people think about it
Mm-hmm.
because
Definitely.
it doesn't feel like your traditional, you know, in a way, modular building. So yeah,
It's different.
yeah, for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
I know there's some expectations. On
yeah.
the internet,
That's. It must not be easy to be the one in charge of designing the next modular building because like
Yeah.
there's a story there. It's almost 20 years now. So I hope you're ready for the internet.
Sure.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hope you all enjoyed the interview. The actual review of the set will be coming real soon here on the channel, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.